Hello. There we go. Okay. Um, Make sure that's a good level. Okay. Hello. I got this kit from my library. Um, and it's got a whole bunch of little stuff in it. Um, it's got like some really serious looking needles, and I have heard of felting, but I know absolutely nothing about it. The kit came with this um, book called First Time Felting The Absolute Beginner's Guide, which sounds like exactly what I need. It has a little thing on here that says Learn by Doing, a step by step basics and projects. So I'm hoping it'll be easy and not hard. Oh my gosh, look how cute this bear is. It's so little. Um, okay, getting started equipment and supplies. I'll have to assume they gave me all the supplies I'll need. Working with felting needles, that might be good to know. Let's see, let's skim through it, everything at least. Oh boy, this looks serious. Felting needles. Yeah, very sharp point. They're not kidding. One single system. Often they're color coded, but that's not always the case. Foam pads. This is the foam pad. Oh yeah, the closed captioner isn't working, and I need to sit down to make sure it works, but I didn't this time. Brushes are made to needle felt again. So these seem to work best when needle felting wood to a base fabric. Do I have brushes? I don't think I do, so I'm not gonna worry about that. Darning needle. I have some darning needles. This didn't come with any, I don't think, but I have several. I've got some needles that are a foot long. Wool painting with a multi-needle tool. I've got like a bunch of different needles here. I got this needle too, and I don't know, these have needles in them. This is crazy. So many needles. I got some finger guards too. They got these little leather finger guards to protect my little digits. Embroidery scissors. Is that these? Because these also look scary. Like, that's really sharp. Any type of wool can be used for needle felting. Okay, well I have whatever type of wool they gave me. Core wool, wool locks. What is core wool? Oh, in the middle of a three-dimensional needle felted item. Okay, less expensive. Okay, I see. Embellishments, wool locks. Hair for dolls. I don't think they gave me any of those. Other fibers, pre-felt. So this is just like regular felt, I think. Working with felting needles, needle sizes and features, anatomy of a felting needle. Oh dang, they're barbed? Look at the like barbs on these guys right here. That looks serious. Made to fit in large industrial machines and not specifically to be used in the hand. Oh, I see. The crank and shank of the needles, crank and shank, made to fit into slots in a large needle loom, and the barbs are designed for different industrial applications. Innovations continue to be made in blade styles and barb placements. The L-shaped hook on the end is called the crank. It's a portion that fits into a needle loom and helps hold the needle in place. The larger portion of the needle that is attached to the crank is called the shank. Okay. Only the lower quarter to third of the blade has barbs. It is called the working portion of the blade. All felting action occurs in the area with barbs. I had no idea. This is fascinating. Sizing of needles. Safety precautions. Yeah, not recommended for children under the age of 10. Yeah. Catch the fibers as the blade is poked into the fiber mass. The fiber is then pushed into the mass and entangled with other fibers, causing them to felt. Barbs can be placed in different positions on the blade and come in different shapes and sizes. Blades can have different number of barbs. The more barbs, the quicker the felting action. Some needles have edges without barbs. This allows easier penetration into the denser felt. The point of the needle is very sharp, so it can easily penetrate wool or other fiber. It is unfortunately quite easy to poke yourself with a felting needle, and care should always be taken to keep the points away from your hands. The point and working portion of the needle are very thin and the most vulnerable to breaking. Okay. Higher the gauge, the finer the needle. That's a little counterintuitive. In general, start with coarser or lower gauge needle and work to finer or higher gauge needle. Coarser fiber will felt better with a coarser needle. Coarse needles also work well for attaching two parts together. Finer fiber felts are best with high gauge needle. Finer needles are also used for adding detail and for the final smoothing of the wool surface. Some felters use a variety of needle gauges when working on a project. Others prefer to use only one size needle throughout a project. Try different sizes of needles to see what works best for you. It is difficult to determine the size of a felting needle by sight. If the felting needles are not color-coded when you buy them, use nail polish or enamel paint to color-code the needles on the handles. Okay, yeah, definitely some of these are color-coded. Like, these are obviously red, green, and blue. And some of them are bigger than others. I wonder if that corresponds to... Oh yeah, the blue ones, which are longer, look like they're thicker. Felting needles are thin, and the working portion of the blade where the barbs are located can be broken if force is applied along the length of the needle. When poking the needle into the wool, always poke the needle in and out at the same angle. When the tip of the needle is in the wool, avoid pushing the shank of the needle from side to side. Push the needle in and then pull it straight out without changing the angle direction. Good to know. Ooh, proper grip. That's how you hold a felting needle, folks. To hold the felting needle, grip it lightly like holding a pen to write. Avoid holding the needle tightly as your hand will tire easily. Well, this one comes with a nice handle. Or is this a different kind of needle? I guess this doesn't have the crank. Does that mean it's not a felting needle? Hook the needle in and out of the wool fairly gently. Vigorous jabbing isn't necessary. The needle only needs to be poked in as deep as the barbs on the blade. Deeper jabbing will be needed for attaching parts or making deep indentations, but in general only the bottom third of the blade is used. Your posture and body mechanics while needle felting. Avoid sitting in a hunched position. Oh, I gotta sit up more straight. Position your chair so that you can place your feet flat on the floor. Okay. And your forearms can rest comfortably on the work surface. Support your lower and upper back with a high chair back or pillow. I only have folding chairs, so hopefully that's fine. I could get a pillow, but I'll be okay. Needle felting is a repetitive motion that can cause injuries such as carpal tunnel syndrome, but appropriate precautions and posture will help prevent this occurrence. Okay. Always pay attention to the project when needling is occurring. If your attention drifts, you are more likely to poke yourself. Always be aware of the location of the needle tip and keep your hands and fingers out of the way. If you share felting needles with others, the needles should be disinfected after use. I had not even thought of that. Since this is a library thing, let's see. Needles can be disinfected with a solution of part bleach and part water. Do I even have bleach? Do you think the person before me disinfected these needles? I'm guessing they might not have, and I'm not sure if the library would have. Oh no. Should I go disinfect these? Okay, I'm gonna go see if I have bleach. So I'm gonna be right back. Okay, I am back. I got the bleach solution. I'm gonna just dip these needles in there because I don't trust that whoever used them last necessarily cleaned them off. And I don't want to get any sort of diseases from this. So I'm gonna just dip that in there. Hopefully the color doesn't come off from the beet bleach. Maybe I'll try to rest it on the lid here. Just to be safe. I also got these little guys here that are in these little like containers, which is kind of interesting. Just gonna stick that in there too. I don't want to get the wood. I want to get the wood wet. This is kind of tricky. Oh, I got the wood wet. Okay. Well, I dipped it in there at least. And now my hands are covered in bleach. So I'm gonna have to wash them off. Oh gosh. I feel like I'm playing pickup sticks. Is that like an actual game? Is that like a game that only turned into a game because someone wanted to let their kids do chores but think it was a game? And then someone made a fun game based off of the chores game? Okay, this is untenable. Come on. Okay, there we go. And I think this is an all, but I'll dip this in as well. And I'm gonna rinse my hands because I don't want bleach on my hands. 1 second. Love a nice stream that smells like bleach. Okay. So hold it like a pencil. That's right. Has been used. Felting needles will eventually become dull and need to be replaced. If the needle has been used frequently over a long period of time and doesn't seem to be working as well, try a new needle. Always pay attention to the project. That's right. Handle the felting needles as you would a sharp kitchen utensil, and if you get distracted, put the felting needle down. Okay. Experimenting and sampling with needle felting is quick and easy. When using individual needles, roll up a ball of the sampling fiber and try out different needle gauges to see which one works best for that particular fiber. Take another tuft of fiber and needle it to the surface of the first ball. By trying different needles, you can determine which is the quickest and most effective. The resultant needle holes left in the fiber surface will also be visible. Then there's wool varieties, and I'm not going to read this because I am stuck with the wool that I got. Embellishments. I don't think I have anything to do embellishments with. Wow, look at all those. Oh, you can do little props and little eyeballs and beads. Those are cute. Needle felting techniques. Master the basics. Okay. Every needle felter develops his or her own preferences of handling the felting needle. The following basic methods will get you started and can be used in different combinations to achieve varying effects. Try these ideas with a variety of needle gauges to see which is most effective. Standard needle stroke is a simple in and out movement. Most important points to remember are to keep the needle at a consistent angle, to poke only to the depth of the working position of the felting needle blade. And then it says some words that I don't understand. Okay, pull off 3 pieces of wool bat approximately the size of your palm. Stack the pieces on top of each other and place them on the felting plaid. Place a 36 to 38 star or triangle felting needle close to hand. What does that mean? I'm already confused. What do the stars mean? Or triangle? What does that mean? I didn't see anything about that. Okay. Well, I have the needles that I have. Fold the closest 2 corners of the stack diagonally toward the back of the felting pad. I don't want to, I only have a little bit of felt, like these tiny little bags. I have 6 of them, and I don't want to waste the felt on just an experiment necessarily. Is this actually going to turn into something? There are so many steps. This all looks so complicated. I don't have wire, so I don't think I can use an armature. Parts, blending. Okay, maybe I should just follow these. Okay, pull out 3 pieces of wool batting, approximately the size of your palm. Should I just use the white? I also have this sort of cream color. I guess I'll just use white. I don't think I have enough for the size of my palm though. I don't know. Oh wow, this is nice. This is not what I was expecting. It's like softer than I was expecting. Okay. I mean, is this batting or is this something else? Hold on. I sort of just skipped past the wool section, so maybe that was a mistake. Yeah, this kind of looks like these kinds of wool. Does it talk about what batting is? Oh boy. Okay. The size of my palm. I mean, is this the size of my palm? I mean, there's like holes in it. Is that okay? I don't understand quite yet. I mean, like, this is obviously some kind of like line of wool. I'm just a little bit lost. Okay. I'm just gonna say this is the size of my palm. And then I'm gonna stack stack them on top of each other on the pad. So that's one, I guess. This is gonna be two. Okay. There's like something in this one. Don't know what this is. Okay. Two, I think. And then three. Maybe I should be using pink for this because I don't know. Instead of white, which I feel like is a color that I will actually want to use for a project. Whatever. I'm just learning how to felt, and there's no reason I should be thinking about actually completing a project necessarily because I'm still just learning the skills. Okay, so that's three. Stack the pieces on top of each other and place them on the felting pad. Place a 36 to 38 star or triangle felting needle close to hand. I still don't know what that means. And there is now stuff coming off of these needles. And I don't know if that's a bad thing. Maybe I left them in too long. Oh, 1 second. I'm gonna go get a paper towel. Hold on. Oh my gosh. Okay. I think maybe I shouldn't have just let them sit in the bleach. Because there's no way you can see that. The little metal stuff on it is kind of coming off, which is not great because, like I said, these came from my library, so I checked them out. So I hope they don't get mad at me. But how expensive can these needles be? Famous last words. It'll be fine, I think. I'm sure they'll still work. I think. Surely my actions couldn't have caused problems or negative consequences. Surely not. Okay. I should probably throw this bleach away too. Probably. still don't know what it means by a 36 to 38 star or triangle felting needle. So I'm just gonna guess it's the medium size and pick green, because that's what I have. Okay. Shit, I am going to throw this bleach down the sink. 1 second. Okay. Now that that's all taken care of, okay, place them on the felting pad. Hold the 2 closest corners of the stack diagonally toward the back of the felting pad. What? Okay, hold on. I think my stack is too tall. Um, this is why in-person classes are so great, because it would be so much easier if I just had a person telling me what to do. Okay. 2 closest corners of the stack diagonally toward the felting pad, back of it. So, like, I think it wants me to do this. I literally have no clue. Hold the folded corners and begin rolling the stack of wool into a roll. Press as much air out of the wool as possible as it is rolled. Okay, so I'm just gonna try to do what I think they're telling me to do. Okay, I now have a roll of wool. I have to put this book somewhere else. If I put it on my laptop, will it push all the keys and ruin everything? Probably. Okay, let's write down the pages. Keep tucking in the sides of the wool and stack and rolling until an ovoid shape is formed. Ovoid. Also, I wish they had put that instruction on the last page. Okay, they make it look so easy. This is not gonna work. There's something outside. This is not working. Their picture makes it look like the smoothest, most beautiful oval, and mine is just an ugly, like, I don't know, mess. Hold the wool shape with the loose edges of the wool at the top of the shape. I mean, I guess this is an ovoid shape. if I hold it like that, and I guess it kind of looks like the picture. Can't really see it, but like, I don't know. So if I hold it and then I hold it at the top of the shape, it's all coming apart. Okay. Grasp the needle lightly and poke it into the wool at a 90-degree angle where the loose ends are located. So I'm just going to use the green one and try not to drop it on the floor. Okay. Poke only to the depth of the working blade. Keep the needle at a 90-degree angle and pull it out. Keep poking the needle gently in and out of the area with loose fibers. Once the fiber ends are poked in, let go of the wool. The shape should hold together. If it doesn't hold together, repeat steps 3 through 11. Continue poking over the entire surface of the wool. Poke at different angles as you turn the shape on the felting pad. Okay, so okay. I'm learning. Just sort of stab it a bunch of times. And it starts to hold together. That's pretty cool. So it really just is, just stab it a whole bunch. And the parts that were coming apart start to not come apart anymore. I don't know about my ovoid shape, per se. But I guess that's something I can fix. I do like the feeling of stabbing this. It feels nice. Like, it's very soothing. And it's kind of cool, like, seeing it come together. Oh, I should probably be wearing my finger protectors, right? Maybe. Although now I feel like I don't know exactly where my fingers are because I can't feel anything. Does look pretty cool though, right? This really reminds me of like a cocoon. Which makes me feel bad about stabbing it a bunch. But that's the way of the world, I guess. Alright, I'm supposed to sit with good posture so that I don't hurt myself. trying to poke at different angles, but you got to remember to enter at the same angle that you exit. Well, okay, now I've made, I don't know, how long do I keep doing this? Like until it looks like fuzzy and a perfect hole like in the picture? Because that looks like it takes a while. So there's a little something in here. I don't know what that is. Looks like a piece of grass or something. I guess this is wool. Maybe there's like, I don't know, stuff in it from the sheep stuff. Man, sheep are cool. I don't know how we got them to have so much wool all the time. My study abroad to England, I loved seeing all the little sheep on our hikes around the country. We hiked a lot of places and we saw a lot of sheep. They were always really cute. And I didn't realize until I went there that sheep actually like have long tails, and farmers, at least in America, like in my experience with ever seeing sheep, they've always been cut off. But they actually have long tails, which astounded me. Um, like, I do not think of sheep as having long tails. There was a bunch of like really amazing wool products, like in gift stores and stuff in England and Scotland, especially, and Ireland too. And they were always so expensive. I'm like, I get it, but man, I looked at some of those and I was like, I wish I could afford that really cool hat or scarf or sweater or whatever, but definitely couldn't afford it and also probably didn't have room for it in my luggage. Man, the patience that people have for crafts is astounding sometimes to me. Like I guess it gets better with experience. They would know when they're actually done. I think this is done. I'm gonna set this needle down. Pull off these little glove fingers. Gloveless fingers instead of fingerless gloves. I think this might be done. I don't really know. It's definitely ovoid. Um, okay. Making a line. A straight line or indentation with a felting needle is used mainly in three-dimensional needle felting. Poking the needle in and out over the same area of the wool in a line makes an indented valley. Indentations can be used to indicate a rib cage or define a muscle shape. A line can also be made with the felting needle to outline a shape on the felting pad to form an edge. Any kind of shape can be formed with this method. The first set of instructions shows how to make a three-dimensional indentation. The second set is for outlining a flat shape. Okay. I'm really not very interested in um, two-dimensional felting, like painting with felt or whatever. I understand that's probably, a lot of people are interested in that, but I don't know. I just don't like the way it looks very much. Use an ovoid strip of wool. I mean, you just make a line. Keep poking it in and out in the same place. I mean, that seems pretty easy. I don't feel like I need to practice that. And outlining a flat shape. That's pretty cool. Oh, and you can use little patterns and cookie cutters and stuff. Blending technique. The blending technique is used to blend fibers into a partially felted surface. Fiber needs to be blended in when wool is added to make a piece bigger, when parts with loose wool are added, and when outer wool is applied over core wool. All three of these techniques can be done in the same manner. Use an ovoid shape as the base. Place a small piece of wool bat approximately half the size of your hand on the felting pad and fold in the long edges of the bat. Roll up. Opposite end. Clump together. Okay, that all makes sense. Shaping techniques. You can make a three-dimensional felting is when you sculpt wool with a needle to make different shapes. Wool can be sculpted into any shape. And why is there flashing over here? What's going on? I don't think there's anything going on. Okay. Poking in a line creates a groove. Poking in one space will create a hollow or a crater. If one side of a shape is poked all over, the side will be flattened, but if the shape is rotated while poking, the needle will round the shape. Hollow places can also be erased if a mistake is made by using a darning needle to pull the wool back into a rounded shape again and then needling to hold. Interesting. Shaping techniques allow define areas and enable you to make craters to form nostrils or shallow indentations of a collarbone on a figure. Whew. Okay. I'd love to make like a little I don't know, like a little jester. I could make that clothes or hat out of fabric, but it would be cool to make just a little just a little guy, you know? Yeah, that would be cool. Maybe I should make that my goal for today. So these are teaching me the techniques, and it would probably be smart to read them all, but I kind of just want to get started on a project, and the project might say use firm surface or whatever to get what you're looking for. And then I can go back and read it. I don't have wire. It would probably be nice, but I don't have it. Covering the core. Once the basic shape or shapes have been made, dyed wool needs to be added over the surface to cover the core wool. The colors chosen depend on what is being made, but the process of covering the wool is the same. Batting works best since the fibers don't all run in the same direction. Yeah, so I don't have any batting. Therefore, a smoother surface is the result. Roving wrapped all in the same direction will show the lines of the fiber in the finished surface. If roving is all that is available, pull small pieces off the roving and mix them together in your hands so the fibers running in different directions. Then apply this handmade bat all over the surface and needle down. Oh, okay, that's cool. When covering an armature, remember not to needle deeply to avoid hitting the wire underneath. As the outer wool is applied and needled in, the wool will continue to shrink and become denser. The shape of the figure should be continually sculpted as it is needled. Use the techniques from needle felting techniques to shape as desired. So that's, yeah, I already read that. Avoid needling the figure firmly at this point or it will be difficult to add further details. To cover core shapes made without an armature, is generally better to cover and connect the parts at the same time. This method is described and shown in Needle Techniques 48. Okay. Okay. Use ovoid wool shapes and 36 to 38 gauge felting needle. Use sheets of colored batting to wrap and cover the two shapes. Place both shapes on the felting pad. Tack one end of a 2 to 3 inch by 6 inch strip of batting on the back side of one of the shapes by needling straight in and out through the batting. The end of the second ovoid shape pressed up against the end of the first one. Wrap the batting around to the left and then to the front of both shapes. Bring the batting around toward the back of the second shape, making a figure 8 motion. Ooh, this is going over my head. Oh, hi, Blat. How are ya? Birdwalk is the meal of the stream. I don't know. I just felt like I needed something right there. Also, kind of, I didn't realize till now, but when I look at the screen that OBS is on, it looks like I'm looking directly at the bird, which makes me very happy. Because I am looking directly at the bird in real life, you know, that I'm looking directly at it in OBS. There it is, and it looks like I'm looking at it, which is great. My streak manager? What does that mean? Hold the batting as tight as possible and needle in and out over both shapes, tacking the batting down. That's too confusing. Keep turning the two connected pieces on the felting pad, needling the batting completely onto the oval. I feel like it's just sort of like wrap it around and then stab it a bunch, which sort of seems to be the general gist of this. Oh, stream manager. Yeah, win streaks. This bird is actually in charge of like my Snapchat, which I haven't opened in about a year now, probably. I guess a little bit less than a year. And is you know, Snapchatting the same person every day, and I'm not aware of it. Repeat steps 3 and 4, but wrap from back to the right side and then to the front and down around the back of the lower ovoid. What? Okay, I'll get to that when I get to that, I guess. I just want to learn how to make a little guy. Is that too much to ask? Crescent roll, small crescent, triangle. To make a triangle that could be used for an animal's ear or dragon scales, place a piece of outer wool batting on the felting pad. Outline the top portion of the triangle shape and make a flat shape. Leave the bottom ends loose for attachment. Okay. This is so much. Where are the instructions to make a little guy? I don't want to make a dog. Sorry, dogs are great. I mean, this is a teddy bear. That might get me to where I'm going. I'll check the teddy bear out if... Oh, I should probably show the book since I'm flipping through it and not actually doing felting at this current moment. I mean, the shape of a teddy bear seems to be the shape of a little guy. So I could probably do that. But wet and Nuno felting. Interesting. Okay, so this is a whole different thing. I'm not getting wet and wild in here. I don't have... Gosh, these look like paintings, but it's felt. Okay. Wow. Yeah, definitely this kit was not made to do this, because there's a lot more supplies in here than it comes with. This is really interesting, though. Okay, you know what? I think I'm just gonna wing it. Sentences said directly before death. I'm just gonna wing it and vibe and see how it goes. And if it's a mistake to do that, then, you know, if I'm wrong, then I don't want to be right. I don't want to stress myself out with so many instructions when just stabbing this felt is so calming, you know? I think art is meant to be calming, and if it's stressful, then I don't want to do it. This is pretty calming, but there is always the underlying stress of like, oops, I accidentally stabbed myself, which is not the most relaxing thing ever. I could just make a little guy, like a really little guy. That might be good. Make this top bit here, like his head, make it that small. I was thinking maybe this could be his body, but I don't have a lot of felt to work with. I'd love to make it so that this bottom part is like rounder and the head can be its own thing. Let's see if I can manage that in some way. It's fun to just mess around with materials sometimes. Just stab him a bunch to give him a neck. You know, God is often portrayed as creating man like out of clay. I think it would be really funny to have a similar sort of depiction, but actually God's making man out of felt, and to do it, he's got to stab him a whole bunch. Maybe that's what life is, you know? Just getting stabbed a bunch so that we're in the right shape. We're getting there with the head. It's sort of looking a bit right. I'm going to stab in a acute angle to really sort of seal in the fact that this is a separate part from the body. And then I want to make the body more round, more circular, more like a belly rather than a very long torso. Just want a little round guy, you know? I'm not sure how to just round it out. I'm sure the book might tell me, maybe. But I don't want to listen to the book anymore. I'm tired of listening to the man. Now that's. Oops. That's the shape of a little guy right there. Sort of. I'm gonna try doing an acute angle the other direction for the head to really see if that can push this neck into a neck shape. Man, part of me thinks I should start over with a different piece of felt now that I have more of an idea of the shape that I want and I'm not just blindly following a tutorial to make an ovoid. Although that book seems pretty reliant on ovals. Gosh, these little gloves are like cutting off my circulation. If I'm careful, I shouldn't need them. More words said directly before death. I did sanitize these needles because I didn't trust that the person before me or the library sanitized them. It's not the library I work for, so who knows? Okay. I just don't know. Okay, I'm gonna set this shape to the side and try just making a round shape for a head out of this color, which I think might be a better skin tone than this sort of gray. And see if I can just make like a small head rather than an ovoid. Oh, it feels so nice when it's like this. Look how nice this is. Okay, I'm just gonna take like one piece of this and see what happens. Okay. Just gonna roll, tuck and roll, tuck and roll, tuck and roll, tuck and roll. Honestly, for a book called like Felting for Absolute Beginners, even the first several pages had a lot of stuff that I was like, wait, what? I don't know what you're talking about. I guess that's the trouble when you get into a really niche field and you get really deep into it, deep enough to like write a book about it. It's hard to know what people will know and what they don't. Okay, surely this will be a good circle shape. There's no way this could go wrong. Okay. Gotta be always aware of where the needle is going. This is a smaller shape than the ovoid, so it's harder to hold it. Maybe the gloves would be a smart idea right now. I think I'll put them back on. Okay. Feel more comfortable now. I mean, I'm basically just trying to make a cotton ball. Why don't I just go grab a cotton ball and be done with it, huh? This pad is really nice. Nice and thick. I don't worry about it at all. Provides a good workstation. I wonder if people who felt a lot have like really big ones, because I feel like that's the one thing about this is it's kind of small, like height and or not height, I guess length and width wise. Which is fine if you're doing small things, which I feel like probably all felting is, huh? You really can't see it very well, but this is what it's looking like so far. Just like a nice little round, almost pom-pom type deal. Why don't I just use a pom-pom? I don't, these are the mysteries of felting. It's pretty zen though. Something about that repetitive motion and just feeling the tension as you stick a needle into something, pull it back out. Oh, something about that is just very relaxing. I forgot I'm supposed to be sitting with both feet flat on the floor. Kinda don't want to. I like sitting, with my legs crossed too much. Okay, now that is a round ball. Now that is the potential head of a little guy. I'm liking it. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. Okay. And then I want to make a little jester guy. I could use this as the body. I don't know. I feel like the torso is just too long. Maybe I had just the broadest shoulders ever. I just feel like it's just the wrong shape for any part of his body. Okay, I'm gonna try to make a ball that is bigger than this one. Maybe add a red to act as his little belly. And we'll see if it works. So, gosh, every time I open one of these, it just feels so nice. I think this is more than I used in the head, but I want it to be significantly bigger in size, so I'll use like that much. Okay, get this out of here. Fold this over on itself. This really kind of feels like clown hair or something. Just because it's so red. I got Ronald McDonald's toupee right here. Okay. Then we roll it and roll it and drowl it like the Pokemon. Just keep making it like a ball shape. And just see what happens. Okay, gonna stick these gloves on again. Okay, let's get to work poking. This one, maybe I needed to spend a little bit more time rolling it. It's a bit looser than the previous ones I've done, I think. Oh, it looks like a little dumpling. I'd put this in my soup and eat it. Would it hurt my insides? Probably. Would it be worth it? No. But I'd do it. Also just kind of looks like a little strawberry. Maybe I'm just hungry. I did just eat dinner, but maybe it wasn't a good enough dinner. Just made some paninis. Had some juice. Thought about life. Listened to a podcast. You know, dinner stuff. I did the dishes yesterday, but I guess I didn't do all of them because my sink is full again today. It's nice that I was like, oh, already planning on doing a stream because then it made it really easy to say, well, I'm going to be doing a stream. I don't have time to do my dishes. Always an excuse. I know some people make some really cool stuff out of, felt and felting. And now that I know like how the basic, like the very, very, very basic way it's done, I'm interested to like peek around at those at felted projects more intentionally, you know? I can't imagine doing this for something really big. Like this is already so much stabbing and it's tiny. But I feel like people make like pretty big, like almost life-sized animals out of this. Maybe they do other stuff. I guess part of what makes it look like a strawberry is all the little holes that I'm putting in it. Kind of remind me of the strawberry seeds. This really does look like a pom-pom. So this is where we're at so far. I mean, it just really straight up looks like a little meatball pom-pom something or other. And then we're gonna need to attach the head to this somehow. And that looks pretty cute. Let's just try it. like not fully convinced that there's a way for this to be like stuck on here in a like way that feels permanent. But I mean, that's on there. It's not coming off. I mean, by itself. I bet if I yanked at it right now, it would. I am trying to make this a jester, but the question is, I mean, do you think I can make like a jester hat out of felting? I kind of doubt it. Hmm. Sort of got a bean-shaped body right now, which is a good shape of body to have. I mean, it's pretty cool how you can make a little guy. So I wonder if I wanted to sort of smooth it out. Do I get a smaller needle for that? I'm trying to be gentle. But I don't want this to, I don't know, fall apart a week after I return the felting set to the library. And then I don't have a way to fix it. But if I'm not being rough on it, then it probably shouldn't fall apart, I think. Trying to get this into a position that like you can actually see what I'm doing. I don't have like a great camera setup for stuff like this. It's just a round little guy. Trying to just sort of even him out a little bit, but I feel like everything I'm doing is backfiring a little bit. Nothing catastrophic, but you know. I mean, that's a guy right there. So let's see if I can figure out how to add arms and legs. I feel like I just want a little tiny bit of felt. I want them to be kind of long. Let's see if this works. I have a feeling it won't, but let's just see. We're just experimenting, seeing what works, what doesn't, trying our options, stabbing a lot. Oh, let's try not to attach it to the bottom of the pad. Stabby, stabby. Yeah. Was that where all of these random stuff is coming from? Is the pad itself? That makes a lot of sense. Are you gonna hang together and act like a leg or an arm or one or the other? Actually, I might as well try to add a little hand onto this too, since I'm here, right? Does that make sense? I'm really just playing fast and loose with this, which I don't know if that's a good idea necessarily, but it's what's happening. Okay. Just rolling that hand right up. I feel like people also do really, really tiny felted stuff. And like the thing that I'm doing right now is not really that tiny, but I can't imagine doing something smaller than this. Like this is already like too small for me, I think. Trying to be very careful not to stab my fingers. I mean, this is a little hand, right? A little pom-pom hand. Just a little round ball. I love to use just a little round ball for hands in my drawings. That's always a good time. Okay, let's see if I can make this any tighter. That over again. I'm just trying to make some limbs. I'm sure the book has a lot to say about this, but I don't want to hear it. Rip that off. Felt just loves to stick to itself, huh? had like a little shoebox with that my mom made with felt like glued, like a just like a just a piece of felt glued to the front of the box, and on the inside of the shoebox there was a bunch of loose felt pieces, which she had cut into shapes. Some of it, others were more sort of abstract. They were like little gingerbread people that had little clothes you could put on them, and gosh, it was just the most fun little thing. And I don't know if that's like a common like toy or thing that other people had. Like I played with that thing all the time. And it was like so easy to clean up, and it was quiet. Unlike, Legos or something. So like my parents would give me that little shoebox full of felt to play with when they needed to, like, when we all were watching a movie, or needed to pay attention to sound going on, but I was too much of a child to be able to pay attention for that long, and I needed a toy to play with. Legos were too loud, but that felt box, absolutely dead quiet. It was genius of my mom. I feel like she told me she made it up. If that's the case, like, dude, my mom's so smart. I'm sure there are other products like that, but I mean, can you really beat like homemade stuff like that? And I think she made it out of mostly scraps. I don't think the gingerbread people were scraps, but like, I think most of the clothes and stuff were just sort of, she cut it out of the discarded corners of the felt that she was using in other projects. And I think if that's the case, like, I don't know, just a very smart lady. But if she didn't make it up, she's still smart. I wonder if she might have had something like that growing up too, because I feel like that's the sort of toy. I don't know when like felt that was like in sheets, that was readily made, inexpensive, whatever. Did my captions finally start working? Hold on. Something popped up. Yeah, they just popped up. How did that happen? I have no idea. Huh. Well, I forgot what I was saying. But yeah, I don't know when felt sort of like became widely available, but I feel like it was probably when my mom was a kid. Like it was probably still available then, like cheaply maybe. I wonder if she had something like that as a kid. Okay, so this is like, could be an arm or could be a leg. I kind of think it's a bit long for an arm, so I think I might make this a leg. Because, sorry, you can't see it. Like, this is just a little too long for an arm to me. But I think it's about the right size for a leg. Yeah, especially if I like curve the bottom a little bit to make a foot of some kind. If I can. Let's try it. I just have to assume this is how you do it. I mean, I don't know. I'm just trying to put my intuitive crafter brain to work in making this because I didn't feel like following instructions. I never feel like following instructions. I mean, that's not true. In school, I always felt like following instructions. But when it comes to like artistic stuff, I hate being told what to do. Just let me be free. It's part of the reason I have a lot of disdain for those, like, I don't know, I see them on Instagram and on YouTube. It's like how to draw a house using the letter N or whatever. 26 little tiny doodles you can make just out of the alphabet. It's like, yeah, cool. Like, that's how you can draw a house if you just want to draw that house. I don't know. I'm probably just being snooty about art, which I don't want to be. Just bugs me, so I should just stop watching it. Just trying to make this a foot. There we go. So if I set it down like that, it kind of looks like he's sitting. Okay, let's try to make a matching leg before I do anything else. I think it's going to be really hard to make a leg that matches. Like both like width and length. Like this is going to be too long. I don't know, we'll see. If he's got mismatched legs, then, you know, that's just part of being a little guy. Just part of being human. So let's try it. If it's that mismatched, maybe I can make it into an arm. I don't know. We'll see. I think this leg might be really skinny compared to the other one, which I think we can just add more onto it pretty easily. I think it might be harder to take away than to add. I don't really know. Okay, I'm going to move these body parts off of this so they're out of my way. I wonder what makes felt felt. Like, I don't think the stuff that I'm using is actually called felt. I think it's called batting or running or whatever they called it. But at a certain point, it becomes felt. I'm curious why it's called that. I have to do some research later on the history of felt, because now my interest is piqued. I'm going to try using one of the thicker needles and see how that goes. Oh, so this is a triangle. I did not realize that. if I can tell which one of these has been used the least. They really look about the same, which is unsurprising. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and being once traveller, long I stood, and peered down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear, though something had worn them really about the same. Something or other. That poem always bugs me, because people use like recite it a lot for various reasons, but they always seem to basically be using it to prove the opposite point that the poem is talking about. Because, the poem ends on, I took the path less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. And people use it like, you should be an individual and take the path less traveled by and be unique, and that'll make all the difference in your life. But in the poem itself, it says like that they had been worn really about the same. Like there was hardly a difference. Like this one was just slightly less traveled by. They were both paths. They had both been traveled on by a lot of people, and they were both about the same path. And the reason that it made a difference is just because that's the nature of life. You make any decision that is about as equal as any other decision, and it changes your life in a whole different way. Like you might be picking your dorm room in freshman year of college, and you're like, should I pick room 102 or room 204? And it doesn't really matter to you. Eventually you're like, okay, well, 204 is slightly closer to the bathrooms, which sounds good to me. And then you meet your best friend or something on hallway 200, and you probably wouldn't have met if you lived in 104, and your life would have been totally different. So it wasn't the act of choosing 204. Like 204 wasn't better than 102. It was just a small decision that had a big impact. Anyway, it just bugs me that people use that poem to say to be a measure on how to make decisions. Because the poem is not telling you how to make a decision. It's just telling you to make a decision and not worry too much about what could have been. I don't know. I do agree with the point that the people are trying to make. Like, I feel like it's not a bad thing to try to be an individual. It just bugs me that they're using a poem that has the antithetical point to it to make that point. It's like, come on, have a little bit of a critical eye towards the poem that you're citing. Like, did you read the whole poem and think about each line before you decided to use it in your graduation speech? You know, maybe I'll use it at some point in a similarly, like a similar type of speech. I don't know if I'll be asked to give a speech like that, but maybe I'll find an excuse to use it correctly. Okay, how long is this leg? They're close enough. I think this can be a leg instead of an arm. It's good enough. These kind of look like Thing 1 and Thing 2's legs. Oops. Holding it out of frame. I'm thinking that because we have a little thing, well, by little I mean big. I mean the size of an infant or toddler. Actually, toddler is more the right size. We have a Thing 1 and Thing 2 that are both the size of a toddler at my work. And they sort of cling to this pole. And I don't know, they just like, sometimes I think they're actually toddlers that are climbing a pole just because like their bodies, not their heads. Their heads obviously don't look like toddler heads because they're got like bright blue hair that's sticking up. Anyway, but they're like their little like legs and like back area really kind of look just like a toddler. And it's a little concerning. And we just decorated for Dr. Seuss Day, and part of me really wants to make it so that when we put away the Dr. Seuss stuff, we put those away too. I don't think it's going to happen, but like I kind of want it to because I don't like them very much. But I do think they just sort of became a part of the children's section decorations. I don't know. Okay. These are some legs. I'm going to fix the ankle on this one then a little bit more. Them some legs. You can do a little tippy tap tap dance. Okay. Okay, let's see how we can attach this to the man, the myth, the legend, the vaguely egg-shaped guy. So we can make him do a little sit. Just make him do a little sit like that. It's gonna be real cute. Man, this leg is longer than that leg. Oh, that's gonna bug me. But it's fine. This is not a scientific thing. Okay. Hey, thanks for the follow, not a desk lamp. Didn't see that till now. Okay. This is like reverse surgery. I feel like surgery, you take like a part of a body off of somebody. And this is, I guess this is plastic surgery? Is that right? Where you add something on? Oh, the difference in length is gonna drive me crazy. Is there a way I can like shorten this leg or lengthen this one? Or like pull on it? It's probably a bad idea. Ooh. I'm gonna stab this one some more. It feels a little bit weak, just generally, just because it's kind of skinny. Okay. I don't know. I mean, it's my first project, so like, who cares? I mean, I care. Who cares? They said, deeply caring. Okay, let's just stick this leg on and call it good. All I want is a little guy who can sit, you know? Doesn't need to have posable parts. I just want him to sit and to be my friend, you know? What more could you ask for? Probably being very dangerous about my needle placement. Just sort of stabbing him. I mean, that's gonna look great, I think. Trying to straighten out his back. Because I have now committed to which direction he's facing, which I honestly didn't really think about when I put his leg on. Okay. Okay, so that is that's a guy right there. That's a guy with a leg. I think anyone could see that. And now it is time to add the second leg. Okay. Let's be let's be thoughtful about where it's going. Okay, I think that's even legs. Okay, careful. Okay. Stab, stab, stab. This guy's got some haunches. Yeah, little guy with legs. Kind of looks like he's wearing little footy pajamas, which I'm here for. He's supposed to be a little jester, but I don't know how I'm gonna really like make him look like a jester. I don't even know how I'm gonna do like a hat for this. I was thinking I might like try to sew one out of fabric, but am I actually gonna do that? I don't I don't know. I'll be honest. And the only fabric I have would clash terribly with the red that this guy's got going. Um I also don't know. I might be able to make like get my hands on some like just like flat felt to make some like buttons to go down the front. Ah, okay, I measured that leg and now it is too long. That leg is significantly longer. I measured it. Why is it like this? Dang it. Okay, well, you know, sometimes you just got uneven legs. It's gonna bug me. Okay. It's fine. Maybe you can like be bending it. Like do like a little sassy bend in the knee. That's what I would always do with drawing. If one leg is too short, I just make it like bend in the knee a little bit. Oh my gosh. I measured this. It's fine. It's fine. This is fine. I'm not bothered at all. Okay. I'm not gonna think about it. Instead, I'm gonna try to start on the arms. Okay. Speaking of sassy knee bend, my knees are not correctly bent. So the book that taught me how to do this taught me that I should be sitting with good posture, and I absolutely am not sitting with good posture, and I'm feeling it, you know? I'm feeling the effects of bad posture. Okay. So these arms need to be short. I was originally making arms, and then they were too long, so I had to make them into legs. And then this one just got even longer. Ugh, I'm not thinking about it. Um, so I need to make them short. Even shorter. Can I get less felt than this? Let's cut this like. Let's take some of this away. Okay. You can't have arms that are as long as your legs because people will call you a freak. It's unfortunate, but that's what'll happen. Okay. Let's see. Is that too long? That's still too long. Okay. Goodness. How about we fold it into thirds and then fold it in half? I don't know if that makes sense. Well, that's too short, isn't it? Or is it? Hold on. No, I think that'll work. I think it'll work. Maybe. I don't know. We're just eyeballing everything. Okay. I'm sure there's an easy way to like unfelt something. I mean, I could be wrong, but like to just like go back and try again. But if there is, I don't really know what it is. Okay, have good posture, relax my shoulders, keep my arms on the table, keep my feet flat on the floor. Okay, good posture. I'm supposed to also have good back support, but all I own are folding chairs, so that's not gonna happen. Just stab it a bunch and it'll all hold together. It's like magic. It's like magic stabbing. What's rattling? What is rattling? What's going on? Something's rattling. How long is it taking me to do the body and legs? Well, I've been going for about 2 hours, but I did spend a lot of time reading how to actually felt. And I did make this failure. I mean, it's not a failure, but it wasn't the shape that I wanted it to be because I was just this was me learning how to stab. um, and I was just following the book's like tutorial, and then I was like, I don't need the book anymore. I'm a creative person who can manage by myself to do my own thing. Um, so I'm not sure how long this took me. Obviously, it was less than 2 hours, but I don't know how much less than 2 hours it was. Also, there was a whole kind of debacle where, so I checked this out from my from the library like network that I'm in. I didn't just say my local library because I work for the library that is local to me, um, and it did not come from them, but it came from my library network. Not even my library district because that's another thing. Um, and in the book, it said if you're sharing, these needles with other people, you should um, sanitize them after you use them because like other people might have got themselves, and you definitely don't want to contaminate your blood or whatever. So I um, got some bleach and left them in there probably a little bit too long, and some of the like shininess on the needle started coming off, and I didn't notice until it was time to start, and I was like, "Uh-oh." So I'm hoping that I don't get charged for that. But if I do, it's fine. It's really cool though, the stuff that libraries have these days, you know? We got a lot of stuff in our library of things. Like even just my local library, which is a lot like is a very small public library. Um we've got like tons of board games, and then we also have like a bear kit like that you can keep your food in when you're camping so the bears don't get it. We have like a trail cam. We have a bunch of like robots. Um we have, trying to remember other stuff. Oh, we have like two museum passes in there, which the museums are not in our town because our town's so small, but they're two of the biggest nearest city to me. It's like real cool. Um, so I think I just kind of just started streaming because I recently moved and now I finally have like good enough internet to stream. Um, but I was like, I want to get into streaming, but I don't know what to do for my streams because I could do games, but that doesn't. I don't know. I like playing games, but I can play games on my own. Doesn't excite me necessarily as like a streaming idea. But then I saw that like there were so many cool different little kits in the library of things. So I think I'm gonna try all of the ones that seem interesting. There's like a ghost hunting kit in there, and I'm really excited for that. um, that's not at my library, but it's at the bigger libraries stuff. And I'm gonna see if this apartment's haunted. Haven't seen any hauntings here yet. um, but I think it'll be really cool just to mess around with this stuff, just to see. They also have um, like a loom that I'm pretty excited to try. They had a pyrography kit, which I actually did pyrography last Friday, I think it was Saturday. I don't remember. But I actually own my own set, so I just did that. It was pretty fun. Um, yeah, I'm just gonna try all of it until I try all of it, and then after that, I don't know what I'm doing for streaming. But maybe by then, I'll actually have some good ideas. Okay, this arm is still a little bit too long, and I wanted to add this little like hand to it. But if I add the hand to it, then it's gonna be even longer. This guy's arm is just too long. Maybe I can like wrap it around his body a little bit. Or start further back. What position should the arm be at? Like, definitely not up. I guess maybe he could be like holding it back. So like he's like just chilling. That might be cute actually. And that way I think I could actually fit the hand on there as well. Okay. Let's try it. You know, he'll only get made fun of a little bit if he has too long of arms. That is clown college. Let's see if I can even attach this hand to the arm. Just playing fast and loose here. I really do wonder if I could just use like pom-poms and if that like would have the same effect as making a ball. I kind of doubt that it would because pom-poms have a whole bunch of like, you know, the fuzziness of pom-poms comes from the fact that all of the threads have been cut. But it might be interesting just to try it. I don't have pom-poms anyway, but it might be interesting to try. That's so cool how it like actually sticks. I feel like it's not going to, and then it does. I'm glad that this was like pretty easy. I was reading the book on how to do it, and I got very overwhelmed. And then I put it away, and then it was easy. Felting is magic. Honestly, so much of like crafting and making stuff just feels like magic. It's like you took a bunch of loose chaos and suddenly it's not chaotic anymore. It's a recognizable thing. I've been watching the anime Doctor Stone, and like basically the main character makes a whole bunch of like stuff out of science in like a Stone Age basically, and like he just takes a bunch of rocks and then he makes a phone out of them, and it's like, how did he do that? Like they teach you. Oop! Don't adjust my glasses while holding the needle. I don't know. It actually shows you all of the steps that are involved in something like that. Okay. I'm going to do a little bit more stabbing just to get this part to look better. It's a detail that wouldn't even show up on camera, but I can see it. It looks like a weird seam or something. Okay. There we go. And then let's stick the arm on. You're getting an arm, Mr. Jester. That's not the exact angle I wanted. Let's try pushing it down a little bit. There we go. No, he's just kicking back. That's a nice stretch. Just stretch my arms out. Okay. Okay. Now let's see if I can make the other arm the same length. We'll see. Okay. So I folded it in thirds and then folded it in half. And if I just follow that recipe, I should have the same length of arm, ostensibly. You're right. Wonky art is still beautiful art. Yeah. I mean, I usually don't mind if my art is wonky, but there's something I don't usually work in 3D. I feel like there's something about it being 3D that is like making it harder for me to think that. Okay. Stabbing time again. Everyone's favorite time, stabbing time. Yeah, it is interesting because I usually do a lot of drawing and painting, and I've been doing pyrography, which um, some of that is on like 3D objects, but the art itself is still 2D for the most part. And like, I don't know, I like painted a lamp, and painting is still 2D. I don't have a lot of experience with 3D art in general. I did do some art classes where we did clay, but I don't know. I didn't love the clay units because I really didn't like the feeling of clay on my hands. I really did not like it. Um, I did like making 3D stuff, but like the sensory badness of clay sort of outweighed um, the fun part of 3D art. I do have who was it? Someone recently. Oh, one of the members of my of the writing club that I run at the library showed me um, like a keychain dragon that she'd made out of like air dry clay, and I don't think I hate the feeling of air dry clay. It's been a long time since I used it, but I don't think it cakes to your hands in the same way that like actual like kiln fired type clay does. So I might try that out too. Maybe after I go through all the kits, I could try that out. I like the kits because I don't have to buy the materials for it, so it's pretty nice. Libraries are so cool. Gonna have to make a hand for this. I think that's pretty good arm. Let's get the hand going. I need only a little tiny bit. Just a little tiny bit. Is this too much? I don't remember how much I used for the other one. Yeah, definitely check out your library. I think most libraries these days, I mean, I could be wrong, but I feel like most libraries these days have a library of things. I don't know what all yours would have in it, but like, it's pretty crazy. Um, and it's been especially nice because, yeah, this is too much. Because my library is part of a library network of like, I don't know, like 30 libraries in the area, which this is a very small rural part of the country. The network does include like one fairly big-ish city-ish, um, but the large majority of the libraries are very small. But I think most of them have a library of things, even if the only thing in them is like a hotspot and some like headphones or something. But I know another thing that one of the libraries has is like a podcasting kit, which is not something that I'm gonna check out because I already have a bunch of stuff like for streaming. I don't need. I don't know. I don't like have a nice microphone, but I don't need to check that out. But it is a cool idea to get people interested in um, that sort of thing. I don't know. I'm like trying to remember the other stuff they have in there, and I'm just drawing a blank. Oh, I know one of them has like a glue gun, which I have my own glue gun, so I don't need that one either, but that's another thing. Oh, one of the ones I want to check out is this it's like a leather working kit. I think you like I don't even know exactly what's in it or what the end product is, but it's stuff to do with leather, which is kind of neat. Oh, there's a bookbinding kit, which I also already have bookbinding supplies, so I'm not going to be checking that one out either. Well, I might, because I think it might be a different method of bookbinding than the way that I know it. So maybe I will check it out. I know there's like jewelry stuff there too. I don't know. It's going to be a fun time full of learning. It'll be fun to say like, oh, felting, I've done that. I've done that before. It wasn't too hard. It's really very nice of them to like have kits that have like materials that need to be refreshed every time someone checks it out. Like obviously this felt that I'm using is not going to be returned to them. um, I don't think our library has any kits that like we need to constantly buy supplies for. Um, we have a lot of board games. Um, I think we have some like bath bomb molds. Anyway, but it's very nice of those libraries to like let me use wool. Yeah, you should try bookbinding. It's pretty easy. Um, I don't know, at least in my experience. I made like a tutorial a couple of years ago on YouTube on the way that I bind books, which you can do. The only materials you need to bind books the way that I do it is the hardest thing is going to be to get like a pretty big needle, like, but I have used just like a regular sewing needle that is the biggest one that I could find in my collection, and it worked all right. And then you need embroidery floss and or like another kind of I actually use yarn, but if you're going to use a smaller needle than what I use, which I use huge needles, then embroidery floss would probably be the best option. Um, Cardboard that I just salvage from like cardboard boxes. Although it is nice if you have like access to chipboard. There you go. It's a little guy. Um, Chipboard is nicer, but I don't even use chipboard when I make books because I don't want to buy materials. um, and then glue. I used to use rubber cement, but honestly, the way that I make books, the rubber cement, I feel like doesn't actually do much. So just regular like glue stick glue, and I guess the other hard thing would be like some clear tape. I guess you could use duct tape if you had a pattern you wanted to use, but I like using the nice like crystal clear like duct tape, and then there's a specific way to like sew it together, and then you like glue it into the covers, and then you tape the covers so that everything's sort of held together. Yeah, it's so nice to be resourceful, and also like I don't know, I feel like it's a really nice way for me to like recycle cardboard because I always feel bad just throwing it away because I know there's a lot I can do with it. Um, I don't know, it's nice to the planet. Okay, arm number 2. Let's see how long it is. Hey, they're the same length. Yay! Oh, good. Okay. So should this one also be poking back? Probably is my thought. But I could also have it like forward. No, I think poking back also. Yeah, I have it on YouTube. My username is not the same there, but I can post a link to it real quick. I don't really have a lot of stuff like stuff on YouTube. Like I don't know. The content that I have on YouTube is all is a mishmash of a lot of different stuff, but I do have this one. Okay. I think this is gonna link you to like a playlist that has another video in it too. But this is at least the link to the bookbinding one. I I will warn you, it's not like the greatest tutorial ever because I ramble a lot in it and it's like kind of long. I don't know, but it does teach you how to do it. I'm not like a tutorial. There's a lot of people on YouTube who make tutorials who like really know how to like punch it up. And that is not me. But I did feel like sharing a skill. They also make really great gifts because like I don't know, it takes me about like 2 hours to make to bind a book now, and that's after having made like I've made like 30 or 40, maybe even 50 of them by this point in my life, just because they make such good gifts that whenever it's like, oh, time to come up with a gift for this person, my go-to is, well, have I already given them a journal that I bound for them? No? Okay, I will do that then. Like I gave all my coworkers this year a little hand-bound book. And yeah, so I've made a lot of them. And at this point, it only takes me like 2 hours. And you can personalize it, and you don't like once you if you do make it the first time, I would recommend getting the needles. They're really not expensive. Like I found the ones that I use at Walmart for like $3 or something. Although I don't know if you hate it, I don't know if I would invest in them. I don't know. If you think you'll really like it though, might as well do it the first time. Okay, this little guy, he's just lounging. I did put the arms on at different angles, so now they do look like they're different legs. This is what you get for not measuring things. Okay, so I think I could put a face on this guy somehow. And I'm not sure how. Part of me thinks I should check the book, but the other part of me thinks I should just try something. I got a little bit of black felt here. I think if I just like take a little bit of it out, I could like roll it into little eyeballs. People who actually do felting have like these really cool like beads almost that they use for eyes, and they're like shiny and cool looking. But this kit did not come with any of those. So I'm gonna be making do with more felt. Oh my gosh. I love him already. Look at that. He's so cute. Okay, time to stab him directly in the eyeballs. Oh, and with the arms here, it's going to be a little tricky. Oh boy, I'm not sure if these are going to stick. There's a part of me that's saying I should just like sew them on with an actual thread. Needle and thread. But felting is magic, and I just gotta believe in the magic. Oh my gosh, it's magic. It's magic. Okay. Time to put on the other one. I'm thinking maybe no mouth on this. I think if I try to do a mouth, it'll look weird, and I think the eyes just by themselves look really cute. Oh my gosh. I can't believe this works. Oh my gosh, it's just a little guy. He's just a little guy. Wow. So the question is, do I attempt a hat? Because I definitely think he needs one. You know what, actually, first I'm going to make little buttons. Because he needs something on his shirt. Okay. Yeah, saucy leg, little guy. I mean, that's the best kind of little guys, if they're a little saucy. Okay. Got little tiny buttons. Let's make this round first. Just a little bit. Stab it by itself a little bit. Just to make it behave. Okay. Okay, I think this will work. I should have made like, I don't know, different. I kind of wanted to do like a red and black suit, and then I forgot that that's what I was wanting to do. I should have made like the right arm and the left leg like black, out of black felt, and like covered half of the torso in black too. Maybe I could like make stripes somehow. It's worth trying. Making these legs more attached. They felt like they might fall off if I held them the wrong way. There we go. There's wool everywhere. Okay, let's ball that up. That's just a little too big. Take some of this out of here. Okay. I could also try to give him a little bit of a nose. That might be cute. No, actually, I don't like it. Smooth little face, just with two little eyes. Okay. And two little buttons on the front. Stabbing him right in the belly. There we go. Gosh, he's just so cute. Okay. So if I was to try to make a hat, I have this much red left to work with. I'm not sure how I would do it. I mean, I guess I was thinking of like the, three or four like spikes type jester hat, but I could just make like like a conical hat, maybe. Maybe. Let's just try making that, and maybe if I do that, I will be able to come up with a way to make the multiple spikes hat. Really just sort of pulling how I might make a conical hat out of my butt. I think I might need more wool than I have. Okay, let's go back, undo that rolling, add a little bit more. I gotta believe in my butt. You know, I've pulled so much out of my butt. Like, I went to college as an English major, which that whole essay writing is just pulling stuff out of your butt. And I got a degree for that. So, like, I should believe in my butt. Okay. This is not exactly the shape that I want. It might work, but it might not. I think I need more. Just keep wrapping some more around the base so I get a thicker base. I don't know. I can add more later probably if I need more. Stabbing time yet again. I mean, what am I trying to do? Conical? This isn't geometry. This is felt. Like, I don't think it's possible to like make a cube out of this. Well, it probably is possible, but not at my skill level to make like a cube or a cone. I'm gonna make a vaguely oval, soft shape, and I'm gonna be happy with it. Going for like a wizard tower sort of vibe. I mean, what's the point of a hat if it doesn't make you like 2 feet taller? I used to wear hats a lot, but now I'm not allowed to because of my job. They don't want us wearing hats at work, and so now I just sort of never wear hats, which is a shame because I have a lot of hats that I never wear now. The only other place I go is to church, and I can't really wear hats there either. Maybe I should start just wearing silly hats while I stream. I think I left most of my hats at my parents' house. It's a shame because now I'm thinking that might be a really cool thing. Or stupid thing is to wear silly hats while streaming. It'd probably annoy me though. I don't know. Okay, that's sort of a cone. You know? Oh, that's cute. That's cute. Okay. Let's make a little ball for the end of it, too. The way it looks right now kind of reminds me of Wirt from Over the Garden Wall. It's just like just a red cone, and that's it. Okay. Do a little ball again. Okay. Let's stab this ball. Man, stabbing is magic. You turn a loose bunch of stuff into a tight ball of the same stuff. Okay, what is the best way to make this work? Maybe like this? Maybe? Now it looks like a Santa hat. I should have seen this coming. It's okay though. It can be a little Santa if it wants to be. If I figure out how to add like black stripes, then it won't look like Santa anymore. I mean, this is straight up just a Santa hat. Who knew I was making Christmas crafts? True, no beard, no Santa. I think it needs just a little bit of a wider, like, brim. This is the last of my red, so Better not screw it up. Okay, let's see if adding works. Because I haven't tried yet to add more felt to something that I'd already made. I'm not sure how it's gonna go. There's nothing like stabbing to make your heart sing. The kit that this came with gloveless fingers to protect your fingers from getting stabbed. But I have not stabbed myself yet, and working with these makes it really hard to like do detail work, I've found. Like I can't feel what's going on. And I haven't stabbed myself yet, knock on wood. Ooh. Okay. I could imagine though, if you get even a little bit distracted from this and you're still stabbing while you're, I don't know, watching TV or something, how easy it would be to accidentally poke yourself. I feel like if you're paying attention and making sure you're definitely not in the way, and then if you are in the way, being very careful, because there were a couple times that I had to poke toward my hand just a little bit because I was holding him. I was being very careful and very aware of where my hand was and how deep the needle was going. Okay, let's stick this on then. He's just a little guy. I'm just giving the little guy his little hat. It's what he deserves, you know? He has a head that says, yes, I need a little hat, please. And who am I to withhold a hat from a little guy who clearly deserves a hat? He's been very good. Even if he's been a little bit saucy. There we go. He's got a little hat. We got a little hat on our little guy. I'm very happy with him. I'm very proud of him. I'm very proud of my little son. Hello. His eyes are kind of askew too, but that's fine. I don't mind that one at all. I do still mind the leg a little tiny bit, but I don't mind the eyes or that his head's looking a little bit to the left. gosh, I don't even know what I'm gonna do with him. Like, is he just gonna like sit on my desk and keep me company? He just might. I think that's gonna be it for me. Yeah, I can't believe how quick it was either. I don't know. It felt longer at the beginning, like when I was first, like when I made this one, it felt like it was taking forever. But then I guess once I got used to the stabbing, um, it came together a lot quicker. Oh, he's got all these little fuzzies on him. Um, I think that's gonna be it for me today. That's 3 hours long. Made a little guy. Pretty happy with this. I still have quite a bit of this like cream color, and I got pink and blue, so I might make it maybe like a pink and a blue guy too, because I think this is enough white to do a head and hands and stuff for all of them. I don't know. I might do that later this week until I have to return everything. But thanks for hanging out. Not a desk clamp. Hope you had fun. Good luck binding your book if you end up doing that. I believe in you. You can do it. See you next time. Bye bye.